Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, along with my friends, we are going to present our presentation based on challenges managing a company in the pandemic of COVID-19. For this task, we have chosen basically analyze its Malaysia Airlines.
These are our member and their tasks.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NURFARAH AMIRAH binti Muhammad ROZI, student ID 2021-430392. Task division involved in slide preparation, listing down reference, writing and presenting planning phase.
Assalamualaikum, I am ROHA ADIBAH binti Muhammad Shah. My student ID is 2021858832 and I am involved in slide preparation, listing down references, writing and presenting organization phase.
Hi, my name is Muhammad HAZIM bin AMRAN. My student ID is 2021859814. So the task division that I involved in the slide preparation, list down references, writing and presenting the leading phase.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is SYAFIQ AFWAN bin SUHAIMIN 2021992763 and my task division part is involved in slide preparation, list down reference, writing and presenting controlling phase.
Hi, my name is NURFARAH ANITA from CS240. My student ID is 2021371155. My task division is to prepare slide preparation, list down reference, writing, presentation, introduction, organization chart and conclusion. Company background.
Malaysia Airlines Berhad is a company established on October 1st, 1972, which is also known as Malaysia Airlines System. Malaysia Airlines is a flag carrier of Malaysia and is a member of the One World Airlines. Malaysia Airlines Berhad MAB began operation as the national carrier on September 1st, 2015, following the dissolution of Malaysian Airline System MAS from Bursa Malaysia in 2014. The airlines began as Malaysia Airways Limited and flew its first commercial flight in 1947. It was renamed as Malaysia Airways after the formation of the Federation Malaysia in 1963. In 1966, the airlines were renamed Malaysia Singapore Airlines (MSA) and in 1972 is known as Malaysia Airlines System (MAS). Malaysia Airlines serving more than 15 destinations worldwide and operating over 300 flights a day.
Organization chart.
Based on our study about Malaysia Airlines, the route of the organization chart starts from the Khazanah National Berhad, since Malaysia Airlines is a part of it and is managed by Malaysia Aviation Group (MAG). Does not only manage Malaysia Airlines, yet also actively manage another air transportation service such as Fly, Mars Wings, MAB Cargo and MAL as well. Ground service and engineering houses that service and aircraft leasing houses MAB leasing and MAB pesawat, and training or talent development such as MAB Academy is also managed by Malaysia Aviation Group effectively and efficiently. The organization chart that you can see here is the internal organization chart within Malaysia Airlines. The massive airline company is divided into the houses, several departments such as the finance, financial department, operation department, strategy department, human research and human capability departments, and also a customer experience and department service.
Planning phase. Number 1, reschedule flight ticket from travel restriction to flight cancellation. The airline business had hit hardest at some point eventually during the COVID-19 pandemic. After declaring the spread of COVID-19 on 11 March, WHO prevented travelers from traveling to other countries, and most of countries in the world closed their borders, so it is not as easy as winking to replan and reschedule a travel plan. Hence, Malaysia Airlines had planned the extension and flexibility of travel ticket rebooking, resulting in offering customer longer validity ticket until 21 December 2020. This strategy planning is a good step to attract more customers to book their flight ticket and at the same time bring benefit to the customer where they could enjoy extended time reschedule their flight ticket. Next, on the official website of Malaysia Airlines, MAG had planned to achieve 100% of vaccination rate for Malaysia-based employee by August. Malaysia Airlines also stated that only fully vaccinated traveller can fly during this pandemic COVID-19 and also only 18 years old and above, followed by SOP given by the government. Traveller also need to bring a proof of vaccination certificate that can be referred from their MySejahtera application. However, even though they are fully vaccinated, traveller who do not have traveller card display are not allowed to continue their journey. Therefore, it is important for the passenger to be well planned and well organized before they want to travel. If they do not have any plan to travel, they sit back and without realize it, they also help slow down the spread of reducing the number of COVID-19 cases. Number 3, actually the parent company of Malaysia Airlines has successfully obtained approval from the UK court to proceed with an important part of the group comprehensive restructuring. The court decision was a major milestone towards securing the airline future following the severe impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the travel and the tourism industry globally. The airline stated that the restructuring was based on the revived long-term business plan and will pave the way of MLG to ensure its long-term sustainability together with a strong support for its shareholder and the last majority for its creditors. With the approval from the UK court, the airline can now work to gain the profit that Malaysia Airlines had achieved before the COVID-19 pandemic. Lastly, Malaysia Airlines additionally plan to introduce a digital travel head pass application in order to ease the travelling process for its passenger within the past pandemic period. In general, the digital pass will facilitate verification that passengers have met all the requirements that allow them to travel safely. According to the airline, the pass will be integrated directly into the Malaysian Airline application mobile apps. Many major airlines, including national carrier Malaysia Airlines Berhad, are working to introduce a digital health pass that will indicate personal health data, particularly regarding COVID-19 disease.
Organization phase. In the organizing phase, we could see that Malaysia Airlines made some changes to the organization to ensure that it can survive throughout the hard times of the pandemic of COVID-19. In the earlier phase of the pandemic, Malaysia Airlines had reconstructed its accounting trend. The organization had decided to cut some costs by deducting the salary of the staff at the higher position of the organization's hierarchy. The step taken by Malaysia Airlines is to ensure that cost that has been deducted from the upper position staff could be channeled to the lower position staff. Hence, no one is left behind going through hard times alone. Malaysia Airlines also initiated unpaid leave and consulting the contract that had been signed. Hence, the initiative was made to avoid terminating any crew of Malaysia Airlines. Next, the organisation had reconstructed long-term planning named Long-Term Business Plan 2.0, and this plan was made to prepare Malaysia Airlines from 2021 until 2025 to strive for better management. According to Malaysia Airlines, the plan would reorganize the business and reconstruct the capital structures with consideration of as many aspects that could be affected by this planning. The second business plan was made after Long-Term Business Plan 1.0 successfully helped Malaysia Airlines achieving better performance, achieving its target 18% earlier than the targeted time, and increasing its income by 7% every year. The 5 strategic steps of this planning are becoming a premium Asia-Pacific airline, recapturing domestic and Asian business, developing commercial alliances, diversifying income, and establishing digital as the foundation of its company. Third, Malaysia Airlines initiated rescheduling its flight routes and plans. It is one of the steps that is made not only to face the uncertain flight landscape, yet to prepare Malaysia Airlines to face lower demand of flight booking in the future. It was also made to reduce the cost of fuel consumption by rescheduling a more compact and fully utilized flight. Malaysia Airlines had also constructed standard operating procedures (SOP) according to the current situation of the pandemic and according to the guidelines set by Malaysian Ministry of Health and the International Air Transport Association. Passengers of Malaysia Airlines need to be vaccinated and need to follow the enforcement of wearing a protective mask during check-in, boarding, flight, disembarkation, and during the collection of baggage on arrival. Lastly, Malaysia Airlines had reorganized the debt payment channel and negotiated with local and foreign creditors. According to Captain Izham Ismail, the Chief Executive Officer CEO of Malaysia Airlines, he said that the step made was hard and tough. However, Malaysia Airlines could heave a sigh, as 50% of the creditors agreed to help the organisation to survive amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The initiative made by Malaysia Airlines to negotiate with the creditors also had been a benchmark for Khazanah Nasional Berhad to determine the value of fund injection that is suitable for Malaysia Airlines' current performance. Any injection of funds by Khazanah Nasional Berhad into Malaysia Airlines is subject to the extent to which local and foreign creditors are willing to reduce the debts burden borne by Malaysia Airlines.
For the leading parts, Malaysian Airlines have a variety of challenges, not only in terms of finances, but also in management. During the pandemic COVID-19, the huge deficit national airline was scheduled to maintain its financial and operational development momentum in 2020. So, epidemic created an unprecedented global lockdown, compelling most airlines in the world to suspend operations and ground practically all of the fleet beginning in March. In order to survive, it was one of the first airlines to slash expenses and preserve cash by implementing wage cutbacks for the whole management team, giving voluntary unpaid leave, pursuing payment deferrals, and renegotiating contracts. Captain Isham Ismail, CEO of Mars Group, announced a 10% wage decrease for top executives as part of cost-cutting initiative, and they will also be denied their allowance. Moreover, despite significant investment in information technology, management does not regularly monitor the customer database. The organization decide to postpone the solution they need to offer the client as soon as feasible. However, the difficulties do not end there because management is still unconcerned about consumer complaints and is not providing fast ticket refunds or correcting e-ticketing issues. Malaysia Airlines still dealing with a number of concerns, and they have received negative comments from the consumers, not only about their poor management, but also about the external engagement of government and political issues. After evaluating some of the issues from the multiple perspectives, it is evident that Mars management is delaying communicating the choice that have been made, and also that the management is using the incorrect approach to making the proper judgment for the business. As a result, the Mars organization must truly study the problems that develop in the Mars management organization, including the internal and also the external sources.
Controlling phase. MAB needs to look forward of the impact from the decision making, same time to achieve the goal from the restructuring for short-term and the long-term results. Short-term decision making takes time for the long-term result. First, existing business in supporting aviation MAB with its benefit on the Malaysian economy because just only restructuring the business planning. Second, supporting digital benefit as fifth generation technology with all the benefit means industry revolution, for example. And the last one is supporting electric vehicle or whatever it is that the governments want to move forward into the future. Long-term decision making take time for the short-term result. First, Khazanas invest and give the trust to MAB again with the amount of around RM800,000 only. Second, to grow our country in economy and spin off remake the strategy MAB against. And the last one, the high potential for this transportation and at the same time can make the diplomatic more than two-way to other country.
The conclusion is, even though Malaysia Airlines is the biggest company airlines in Malaysia, due to COVID-19, which had impact on both domestic and international inbound and outbound flights, Malaysia Airlines encountered in financial difficulty. Malaysia Airlines is still able to recover and stop the COVID-19 outbreak by following the government suggested SOP and employ a variety of other tactics while also follow the rules. With the use of SOP, Malaysia Airlines had been able to stabilize its economic and financial situation. Malaysia Airlines had to continue ticket sale campaign and expand its service at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. In addition, Malaysia Airlines must pay closer attention to current events, recording both domestic and abroad for the airline firm to compete with other airlines and even run in global orbit. This action will provide an opening employee chance for qualification application. Thank you. That's all for